Check it out, friends. This is the most anticipated tool to be released from Milwaukee. It's the M18 Fuel track saw. Let's take a closer look. So what's interesting, Milwaukee fans have been asking for a track saw for years, and it was actually unveiled for the first time at the Pipeline event in June of last summer, which I was thankful to be able to attend. And there we were able to see it put to the test, see it ran through some hardwood, and then get a chance to even run it ourselves. So now I'm very excited because I have a lot of different material here that I want to put it through the test. So I haven't even assembled it yet or ran it. So I just wanted to wait until this video to put it to the test for the very first time so you guys can see my initial reactions and how it works right out of the box. So you do have a couple options for this. I will have some links down below to the Home Depot if you want to see the latest pricing, but at the time of me making this video, you can get the tool only, that's $3.99, or you can get this kit right here. It comes in this XL size pack out. So this is $6.39. So they both come with the 40 tooth blade right here. So if you wanted to buy this as a tool only, this would work well for somebody that has either a Festool or Makita rails to run this on. They are interchangeable, and if you have your own batteries. But this is a really great option if you get it in the kit because you get this XL pack out right here. So I'm very excited for this saw, but this is one of the things I really like about the PACKOUT. So I'm definitely using the PACKOUT system for a lot of my tools. That's really how I stay organized. It forces me to be organized, actually. And what I like about this, it has this foam right here that's all molded. So then you can put all your tools. You don't have to cut any like Kaizen foam or anything like that out. So see, like right here, you have like some extra battery storage. So this is the battery itself. I actually just put one of my own batteries in there, just showing you where you could have a backup. It has the rapid charger, and then right here is a splinter guard. I'll show you that in a few minutes. So the one thing I like about this PACKOUT right here, you definitely have enough room in there to store some additional accessories. So let's say you might have a couple of the different rails. So I'm going to be running 2 of the 55-inch ones, and then the connectors that you use to put them together is this right here. So if you want to store this in here, that works real well right there. There's plenty of room. So then if you're going to be working with different material, you have different options besides the 40 tooth finish blade right here. You also have the fine finish blade, which is 48 teeth. You also have a laminate blade, and then there's a general purpose one, and then we have fiber cement. So any of these blades you could just put right over there. So the other 2 rail options that you can get besides the 55, they make a 31 and a 106. So we're going to take a quick look right now since I'm talking about them, and I'll show you how they connect. And then real quick, if you're wondering if it'll run on a Bosch rail, it definitely won't. You can just see this is completely different than this setup right here, in case you want to see what the bottom side looks like. So these 2 strips right here definitely feel like they have a lot of grip. I do plan on getting some clamps on each end. That's just something that's my personal preference. I don't like to take a chance on certain things, so I'll be getting those. So I like that the guide rail connector comes in a nice storage tube right here. Then it has a little wrench and all these little screws right here. All right, so this is a little time consuming, but I like having the 2 55s so that way it's just easier to store them. And then if you want to cut something or rip something that's a little bit smaller, you can easily just use a 55. All right, so one of the first things we have to do is put this blade in right here. So always make sure you have the battery out. And what's nice right here, we have the onboard tool storage. So up until this point, I don't think I mentioned the word plunge track saw. So yes, it plunges down. And then right there, that's the spindle lock. So you press that down. And a nice feature on this saw right here, you can see right there is the riving knife. So that helps the material from pinching the blade. So this is a very powerful saw. It's advertised with the ability to cut up to 2-inch hardwood. I believe it's right around 2 1/4, somewhere right in there is the maximum cut depth, in case you're wondering that. All right, so let's go ahead and put one of the batteries in. Just hear how it sounds. You can see it's got a brake on it. It breaks up really fast. So we're getting really close right now to having this completely set up. I did dial it in. There's some little knobs right here to tighten it, so you get it just snug enough so you don't have any play with this wiggling, but you don't want it too tight so it doesn't glide easily. So right now I have it right where I want. It's going over that seam really well. So what we're going to do is bring this all the way to the back, have the plunge cut all the way down, make one long continuous rip because we need to trim part of this rubber edge right here off. So that way it'll get it completely set up. So next time we go and use this, we can line that edge right up to the mark that we're going to start from. So now you can see there's just a little bit of this strip right here. This is that's the thickness of it that was trimmed off right there. All right, there's one thing I want to point out. I did notice a little more dust, and to help keep the dust down, you have this window right here that slides down, so you can have it go right up against your work material, and that just helps capture the dust. All right, so let's take a look at our first cut with it. Let's say it looks good to me. Nice clean cut. All right, let me show you my setup right here for collecting dust. This is the mullet separator right there. I had the Milwaukee hose. This goes right into the 8-gallon dust extractor right there. Works really nice. So far I've been really impressed with the build quality. You can just see Milwaukee definitely spent their time to get it right. There is one thing that I think a lot of woodworkers are looking for in the future, and that's just having the ability to have your tool communicate with your dust extractor somehow. So this is a corded model, and I could put a foot switch on the floor somewhere. I think they make some type of remote thing that you can, like a keychain you can wear that will turn it on. Yeah, so now I can see that's just perfectly flush right there. All right, so the next feature on the saw, it's a score feature. It really would be for some higher end stuff, but I think we can still try it on this. So it'll just score a 1/16 of an inch, I believe. And you make 2 passes. So the first one's like that, and the second one would be the full length. I'm not sure if you can see that little switch right there. You push that forward, and I believe that's how you do the scoring. All right, let me back that up a minute. So it just barely, I don't know if you can even see that. You couldn't hear anything, but it definitely did score just the very top. So even back here, not sure how well you can see that, but it did take a little notch out right there. So now we take that switch off. Oh yeah, no splintering. That is a really nice clean edge. I'll tell you what, if you're looking for nice straight lines, there's nothing like a track saw. Okay, so now we're going to perform a test, and that is based on the front of the box right here. It claims over 90% dust collection. So what I'm going to do is 3 passes, one with my Milwaukee dust collector and the hose hooked up, the second one with the dust bag, and the third one with nothing. So that way you can see what the difference is. All right, next we're going to use the dust bag, and here's a close-up look at it. So this will fill up relatively fast. I definitely see more dust particles in the air up here where I didn't see it before. Wow, that's a lot. Holy cow, look at that. All right. So it may not look like it, but yeah, there's still more in there. Yeah, this was completely clean before I did that one pass on 1/2-inch plywood, 8 foot long. All right, number 3. Yeah, that made it a little bit of a mess. All right, so check this out. If you want to do some bevel cuts right here with the track saw, there's a couple things that you're going to want to know about. So the first thing is back here is a lock. So if you push that and twist it when it's on the rails, there's a little tab that sticks out and it locks into that tab. And let me put it back and I'll show you what that does. So if you don't have it locked and then you tilt this, you can see how it can lift off the rails. But if you twist it, put that tab in place, then it's locked into that track. Next thing I want to point out is the settings for doing some bevel cuts. So you loosen the screws, one in the front, one in the back. And then right here is your guide. You have some positive stops. So you can twist this right there to 22.5. And then you can see it stops right there at 22.5. If you put it back to 0, then it'll go all the way to 45 or 0. Now if you want to go past that to 48, there's this little button that you push right there. So if you push that, that unlocks it, and that'll allow you to go all the way to 48. And then right here you have your depth stop. So that first line right there, that is if you're running this without the rails underneath. The 2-line mark right there, that is your depth when it's on the rail system right here. So I don't know too many people that would run this without the rails, but that does give the option. And then right up in the front here, that's indented a little bit, and that would be your guide mark that you would use if you weren't on the rails to make your cut, if you're trying to follow the line. So if you can see this little knob right there, that will give you a micro adjust if you need to go just a smidge deeper or higher up. You have your variable speed. So let's start on low so you can hear the difference. This is 1. And that's 6. And as you can hear when I let go, this thing breaks really fast. So a lot of nice safety features. If you're considering a table saw, you might want to consider getting a track saw, and maybe if you need a router to go with it, that could potentially replace your table saw. A lot of people I've heard say that they don't use their table saw much anymore once they get a track saw. All right, so now if you're wondering what this piece is right here, this is the splinter guard. So if you can see, that's flat right there. That's what's going to push down against your material and keeping it from splintering as you're running the blade across right next to it. All right, so one last test on this plywood. We're going to do a bevel cut, 45 degrees, and then we have a positive stop right there, 45. We're going to tighten that down. All right, if you look at that, it is really nice right up next to it. I did hear some concerns that after you do a 45 that it might take off a little more of this rubber strip. I don't notice any more of the rubber strip right here, so I think we're good, but we'll see. There's definitely some more things that I want to demonstrate this on. So some upcoming videos, I'd like to put out some short videos. I'm wondering, would you watch those if I had like some 30 to 45 second clips? Is that something you'd watch, or would you be looking for another long form video like this? Please let me know down below if you'll watch my shorts. That sounded weird. Yeah, so let me rephrase that. Would you watch some of my short form content on the track saw? So I hope this video has been helpful for you, seeing all the features of the Milwaukee track saw and put to the test. So if you enjoy it, please give it a thumbs up to help support my channel. And friends, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.